Hi, this is Scott Bogren, Editor-in-Chief of Dec2012EdVid magazine. I'd like to welcome you to the December 2012 edition of our digital publication, this one with the theme Reframing Value, Transit's New Playbook. And I particularly want you to take a look at that title because it really speaks to what we're trying to bring forward throughout this edition of the magazine, and that word value. We're not talking about our values, but we're talking about how do we value community and public transportation, and how do we talk about the value that community and public transportation bring to their communities and to the passengers. So it's a little bit of a different take, and you'll see there's a commentary piece that I have in the magazine that I kind of think speaks to from the 35,000 foot view about what we want to talk about. But this is an issue dedicated to talking about transit outcomes, data, and fresh ideas about transit success, because we've got to get into the business in the public and community transportation industry of reframing how we're talking about the industry. And we've had some editions of the magazine in the past that have talked about how you would speak about it. This edition provides some of the actual data and more specifics. One of the things that you'll see right away, we've had two major issues here in Washington, D.C. in the last 6 months that have significant impact on community and public transportation. The first was obviously the passage of MAP 21. We covered a lot of that in the last edition. Since we put that edition of the magazine out, we've now had an election, and you'll see some election coverage here. And there's good news in the election coverage, particularly the fact that 68% of the transit ballot initiatives or transportation ballot initiatives around the country passed. And you'll see a graph that shows that there is a continued significant success rate of these ballot initiatives that says something. It says something about what people value and the value, again, of transit. So take a look at that. We cover the 113th Congress, some designations on committees and that kind of thing. And then also we have a little section on the administration and what it seems to be bringing forward, both from its election victory, but what it'll be moving forward with in terms of ideas for its second term. This also, you could really call this the first ever infographic edition of community transportation and of digital CT. We've got two large articles that focus on providing information in a unique way. It's not the typical way that we do things in terms of with lots of copy and words, but it's providing some of those salient and important facts that speak to the value of community and public transportation in different ways. So you'll see facts and figures and statistics that come forward in terms of seniors and older Americans, younger Americans. You'll see some facts and figures related to healthcare and specific aspects of healthcare. You'll also see some facts and figures on urbanization and kind of rural isolation and how they work together. And then at the very end, you'll see a page, actually 2 pages, on some of the facts about transit ridership and transit success. Take that together with what we see happening with the transit ballot initiatives, and there's a message there, and that's what we want you to try to take from this. We also included in this edition a copy, and the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation did an excellent series of infographics on mobility and public health. Again, it speaks to good outcomes from public and community transportation, but it does that in different ways. Our editor, Rich Sampson, has an interesting article on affordability, which is something we've talked about a lot. And Rich actually goes through the last year and a half of CT magazines and picks out key aspects of stories that we've written that highlight different parts of what makes affordability such an important imperative in the transit industry. And the last feature is a very important one. We are fortunate to have kind of a day-by-day, almost hour-by-hour look at transit's response to what became Superstorm Sandy, was initially Hurricane Sandy, in New Jersey. From Steve Fatante with NJ Transit, and there's a lot. So when we talk about all these facts and figures that speak to transit's value, we kind of end the edition with a obvious example of transit's value to a community and to its passengers being played out in terms of in the stark contrast of life-saving transports and getting people out of harm's way. So it's a really strong edition of the magazine that we're ending 2012 here with. I know you're going to get a lot out of it as always. Send your ideas, your suggestions about future editions of Digital CT to me. I can be reached at Bogren, B-O-G-R-E-N, at ctaa.org, or via cell phone, 202-247-1921. On behalf of all the staff at Community Transportation Association and also the magazine staff, I'd like to wish everyone a happy holiday season. Hope you get to spend some quality time with your families and everyone's safe. And we look forward to having another edition of Digital CT coming out early in 2013.